Hey Virgo, what's going on guys? It's your boy for CancerMoonsTarot, and I'm coming at you guys with your mid-September 2021 tarot reading, alright? This has been like my 5th retake for Virgos. Your messages have been coming out so scattered. It's been very hard to pick up on your energy for this mid-month, man. I'm not sure why. Hopefully we get some sort of clear story this time. As always though, messages here are general, so if they resonate, amazing. If not, it's not your message. And if you guys want to check out my official social media, that's all available in the description below. Alright, but Virgo, let's go ahead and get on into it. I want to say happy birthday to you guys. I know we're moving into Libra season shortly, but I hope you guys had a good season, and I hope you guys have a happy birthday. Let's take a look here at your current energies, Virgo, and see what we got going on for your mid-September. Let me get some current energies here for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout their mid-September 2021. What current energies do we have here for Virgo? And what do we got? We got here the 3 of Wands, we got here the 10 of Wands, and we got here the Ace of Swords. So, I'm definitely seeing a lot of you guys wanting to take action to break away from some sort of burden that you're holding on to, okay? Burden or burdens that you're potentially holding on to. You know, the 3 of Wands is typically that card of like, I'm dying to see what comes next in my life, because if my life is honestly me just suffering in silence, this is not really the best life to be living. So you do want some change here, especially with that Ace of Swords. I feel like currently you're saying, universe, please can you bring some sort of change into my life? Can you help me detach and cut away from the things that burden me? I'm tired of suffering in silence. Silence is a pretty big theme here for you, Virgo. My guides are making that very prominent. Maybe it's about not wanting to talk, hence why this is my 5th do-over for the Virgo reading. I love you guys, but you're killing me over here, okay? So I do feel here that silence is something that's highlighted for you in mid-September. Maybe it's about starting to speak again, starting to talk. Instead of being so silent with what it is you're suffering with, maybe it's time to be vocal about it. Talk to people that you love. Talk to people that you know you can confide in. On top of that, don't be afraid to speak your truth. If there's things you need to get off your chest, make sure you're doing that, because repression is one of the worst forms of depression. When you repress everything, it will depress you. I promise you. So make sure you're letting things out, all right? If you're holding on to burdens, you're not giving yourself the space and the opportunity to heal. All right? So I'm definitely picking up on this energy of like, I want things to change. I want the Ace of Swords to come in. I want to detach from my burdens. But I feel like no matter what I do, I'm stuck here in this place suffering in silence. Let's clarify the 10 of Wands. Tell me about these burdens that Virgo is currently dealing with. Tell me about these burdens. We got here the Sun card. We got here the 3 of Cups. And we got here the 7 of Wands. There's definitely burdens here of feeling like you can't be happy, because the Sun card and the 3 of Cups are 2 very happy cards. But there's a lot of resistance to it because you also have here the 7 of Wands. So you feel like you are resisting happiness. For some reason, I can't enjoy myself. For some reason, I can't just have fun. For some reason, I just can't be happy. It feels like I am meant to resist it, and I'm meant to constantly suffer and just be really attached to these negative energies I'm experiencing. So I kind of feel like right now, you feel like you're stuck in negativity. You're stuck in your burdens. You feel like you can't escape it. And no matter what you do, anytime something good comes your way, you feel like you're trapped in this very pessimistic mindset or this very negative point of view, okay? So there's a lot of pessimism surrounding you guys. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get out some liquid sage over here and try to cleanse you guys from whatever is, you know, attaching itself to you, because it does feel like there's a lot of negative energy surrounding you guys. I feel like pessimism is not always necessarily manifested within you. It could be energies you're picking up on, right? You know, for example, if you're surrounded by a lot of pessimistic people, Virgo, that can transfer over to you. If you're surrounded by a lot of negative people, that negativity can transfer over to you. Remember, your environment, and I literally say this all the time, your environment is so fucking important to your own mentality and the own energy you're putting out into the world, because if you're surrounded by certain types of people, you're going to absorb their energies. So be mindful of who you're surrounded with, Virgo, because if you've been very pessimistic and you're around a lot of pessimistic people, you're going to become a pessimistic person, okay? So definitely be mindful of that in mid-September. So as far as what I'm seeing here for you guys, you feel like no matter what I do, I just can't be happy. For some reason, something always pushes happiness away. I resist the crap out of it, okay? Let's go ahead and clarify the Three of Wands. Let's take a look at that. And what do we got? We got here the Five of Pentacles. So you feel like there is a lack of action here. You want things to change, but you feel like there is no change happening at all. Well, remember, change doesn't just happen. There has to be action. There has to be the law of action in order to manifest the law of attraction, aka something has to be in action to change. There's a scientific law I'm trying to remember. Maybe it's about kinetic energy. We learned this in science when we were younger, but I don't do school like that. I don't care. I don't remember anything at all from high school, but something about kinetic energy, it's like the law of motion, is that what it's called? In order for something to be moving, it has to be in motion. Well, that is kind of like the same thing here for action. In order for things in your life to change, you have to be taking action. And right now, you're kind of saying to the universe, man, can things just change? But you're not taking action, Virgo. And because you're not taking action, things aren't changing. So you're tired of suffering in silence, but what are you going to do about it? And I say that with love. I say that with as much love as possible because I'm not here to put anybody down. But I am here to call you out respectfully. What are you going to do about it? Because if you want things to change and you're not taking action, then things cannot change. So let's go ahead and dive on into this reading, guys. Let's make some fucking change happen, okay? And for the Virgos that are trying their best, I applaud you, I support you, and I love my Virgos nonetheless. I know there's some Virgos that may comment down below saying, Ant, I'm doing everything I can. Don't tell me I'm not trying to change. Okay, I understand that. But sometimes it really takes a much more deeper will to make a powerful change in your life, okay? So let's get on into this. So Virgo, as far as what I'm seeing for you guys, you feel like you're just in a very pessimistic place. You feel like you're kind of suffering in silence, you're suffering in your burdens, and no matter what you do, nothing is happening, nothing is changing. Well, Virgo, one of the biggest things you can do is allow yourself to first acknowledge why you're in this place. Really go within throughout mid-September and kind of ask yourself, why am I suffering? What is it I'm holding on to that's bothering me? What is it I'm holding on to that's burdening me? Once you figure that out, ask yourself why you're still holding on to it. Are you trying to punish yourself for some reason? And usually if you are trying to punish yourself, it's because you feel like you deserve to be punished. Ask yourself why you deserve to be punished, right? There's a lot of questions that you are already going to find within yourself. Not things that I need to tell you, but things that you'll just find out by going within. So Virgo, definitely take a good amount of time going within and asking yourself, why you're holding on to certain things, why you feel the way you feel, why you haven't taken action to make things a little better for you. Ask yourself these questions, okay? Let's take a look and see where things are going for Virgo throughout mid-September 2021. Where are things going to be going for Virgo? We got here the Lover's card, we got here the Page of Swords, and we got here the Nine of Swords. So, stepping forward into mid-September, I do feel a little bit of a struggle with people you're connecting with around you. I definitely feel like because you've been kind of suffering in silence, you've found it very hard to connect with individuals around you. You found it very hard to be happy and to be in a good mood around people. I think people are kind of looking at you, Virgo, and they're like, dude, what's up with you? And you're like, nothing, I'm fine. You're kind of lying to the people around you, pretending that you're okay, but you're not in your best place. And people around you are trying to connect with you, but you just feel so disconnected from everybody around you because you're not in the Three of Cups, you're not in the Sun energy, you're not happy, you're not in a celebratory mood, you're in a crappy mood, to put it pretty bluntly. And you feel like, I just can't connect with people, I can't have fun with people, I don't really feel like hanging out with individuals in my life because I'm just not in a good mood, So basically where things are going for you in mid-September is you're starting to feel a lot more isolated from individuals around you, and you're starting to feel a lot more detached from people around you because you're just not in the same mood that they are, all right? Let's take a look here a little further on what's going to be going on for Virgo throughout mid-September. We have the Justice card, we have here the Four of Swords, and we have here the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, so it is essentially you guys going hermit mode, instead of allowing yourself to open up to people about what it is that's going on in your life, you are remaining to suffer in silence, and you are becoming more and more of a hermit. All right, so I am feeling Virgos jumping into hermit mode here throughout mid-September and still really staying stuck, you know, on that Ten of Wands type of energy. Now, what can Virgo do about this? What can Virgo do to no longer be involved in that Ten of Wands energy and suffer in silence? What do we got? We got here the Queen of Cups, we got the Five of Swords, we got the Eight of Swords, and we got the Four of Cups. Virgo, with the Queen of Cups here to the Five of Swords, you have to be open to your emotions. The more that you resist what it is you're feeling, the more you're going to be stuck in your feelings. That is a very important thing to talk about, guys. The more that we kind of bury our feelings and repress what it is we're going through, the more we're going to be stuck in those emotions because we're not giving ourselves room to heal. You know, you can't leave a Band-Aid on a wound that needs air. You got to give yourself that time to open up your wounds, to let them breathe and to let yourself feel, because feeling is indeed healing. And with the Eight of Swords to the Four of Cups, I feel like often when you get sad or when you get upset, you really push away what's bothering you because it's better for you to numb the pain, but at the same time, you can't escape whatever it is that's bothering you. So you overall feel really trapped. You feel trapped in a stagnant place. You feel like you're suffering in silence. You're avoiding your feelings when your feelings are trying to communicate to you. You're not opening yourself up to people around you that are worried about you and that can tell that something's going on. You're feeling disconnected from people around you because of what you're experiencing. But essentially, you have to ask yourself, why am I isolating myself from people that love and care for me? Why am I being so silent and allowing myself to stay in this suffering energy? When you ask yourself that question, you're going to find an answer. Now, I personally don't know the exact answer for you, but I think that it's time to ask yourself that question, why am I letting myself suffer when I can indeed be happy? The Seven of Wands to the Sun and the Three of Cups, the energy of, I just can't be happy, I just can't be in a good mood. Sure you can. Everything is a choice. It's a choice to be happy. It's a choice to stay in love with somebody. It's a choice to do good things. It's a choice to be positive. It's a choice to be negative. And even though it's a hard truth, it's true. It is a choice to be happy. It is a choice to take care of yourself, you know? So I know this reading is going to be a lot of tough love. And I know that some Virgos may hate me by the end of this reading, but the truth is that you have a choice, guys. And I want you guys to take the best choice. I want you guys to be happy, you know? Whatever's burdening you and bothering you, you don't need to hold on to that energy, but you choose to hold on to that energy. I think you gotta figure out why in mid-September that you choose to hold on to things that hurt you. Because there's a part of you that may believe that you deserve to be punished, or there's a part of you that may believe that feeling pain is feeling better than nothing at all. But guys, you could be happy. But in order to do that, you first need to stop punishing yourself and torturing yourself with all the burdens that still bother you. You gotta rip off that Band-Aid, guys. And you gotta let your wound have air. For whatever is hurting you, let yourself feel it. The best way to heal, guys, is by letting yourself just feel how the fuck you feel, sit in the energy you're sitting in, and then throughout time, you will heal what it is you're going through. For example, you know, when a child is young and a child falls and gets hurt and they scrape their knee, they're gonna cry a little bit, and then after they cry, they're usually good. They're like, okay, that fucking hurt, but now I feel better. Because what happens is when you let yourself process your emotions by feeling them, you eventually heal it and you let it go. I definitely feel like you keep trying to patch your emotions here. You're suffering in silence, but you're not choosing to let yourself fully feel what it is you're going through. You're resisting your emotions right now. I think you're trying to put on a strong face and be fine for everybody, and I think you're trying to be fine every day, but you're not fine, and I think it's time to admit that, Virgo. You know, with the Five of Pentacles energy here, if you keep asking yourself, you know, why can't I be happy? Well, first, you need to let yourself be sad, all right? If there's things that are bothering you, let yourself feel it, let yourself heal it, you know? And once you go through that step of feeling what it is you're going through, over time, you'll heal it, you'll release it. And once you get to the point of releasing, no longer holding on to your burdens, the next step to actually being happy is to choose happiness for yourself. It's to choose to look at things in a much more positive perception. It's a choice to surround yourself with much more positive people, you know? If you're surrounding yourself with individuals who are super negative, you're going to be a negative person. If you're surrounding yourself with people who are really pessimistic, you're going to be a pessimistic person, you know? So I definitely feel like after you go through this healing phase, the best thing you can do for yourself, Virgo, is start surrounding yourself with more positive energies. If you have good friends that are always very positive, people that make you laugh, people that are just genuine good people, start hanging out with them more. Start listening to podcasts about how to become a more happier person. Start looking at YouTube videos on how to manifest wonderful things in your life. Start going through your own self-transformation and learning how to become a more positive and happier person, because it's a choice if you want to get there. Do all your research that you can. Surround yourself with good things. Treat yourself kindly. Okay? That is the number one most important thing that you can do, is treating yourself kindly. Okay? Do kind things for other people, but also do kind things for yourself. It is a choice, guys, and it's a choice you very much so can make. But first, before we get to the action over here, the first action that you need to take is letting yourself heal. After you let yourself heal, Virgo, it's your choice to be happy. It's your choice to do the work. It's your choice to change your life. Let's take a look here at the overall outcome for Virgo throughout mid-September 2021. What is going to be the overall outcome for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. And what do we got? The Six of Swords. You're moving forward. You're moving to calmer waters. So by the end of September, guys, I think things are massively going to change for you. Because you're going to realize the more that I am suffering in silence, the more that I'm detaching from my friends, the more that I'm detaching from the people I love, the more lonely I become. And the more of a hermit I become, the more unhappy I become. You're going to start to realize that by suffering in silence, it's not benefiting you or doing you any good. By repressing your feelings and emotions, it's not benefiting you or doing you any good. Eventually, you're going to realize in mid-September, it's time for me to open up. It's time for me to rip off the Band-Aid and let my wound heal. It's time for me to heal from all the things that are burdening me and that are bothering me. And it's time for me to actually not reject happiness, but instead embrace it. Because it is a choice. It's a choice to push it away just as much as it is to welcome it with open arms. So Virgos, I think you guys are going to have that massive realization, but it's going to take you to getting to the point of where you feel like you are so isolated and detached from everything that is when you must take action. Remember, you don't need to get to rock bottom in order to take action or to be motivated enough to take action. You guys can take action right now. The beautiful thing about tarot is that even though I am taking a look at your future is instantaneously changeable. You can change your future just by watching this video. And that's what I love so much about being a light worker, because you all can avoid this path. You don't need to get to rock bottom in order to make a change in your life, Virgo. You can make your change right now, right after watching this video. You can make the change that's going to incorporate more happiness into your life. You can take the time now to let yourself feel and heal. And then you can start making plans to actively live a much more positive lifestyle. You can start making plans to surround yourself with more positive people. You can start making the choice to be happy and to integrate peace and beautiful vibes into your life. The thing about happiness is that it's a word we kind of throw around a lot. Let me be real with you. Happiness is temporary just as much as sadness is temporary. But what you're trying to achieve is a state of contentment. And that's what you should be going for. Because happiness, it'll come and go just like sadness will. But contentment, that's a life worth living. That's a good life. Okay? So you'll get there, guys. But first, you must clear away all these negative energies that are surrounding you. All these things that you're holding on to. You must give yourself the opportunity to go within and ask yourself, why am I holding on to things that are burdening me? You know, talk to yourself, guys. Figure out those answers. And once you do, start reworking your brain. Instead of focusing on pessimistic things and negative things, start training your brain to look at the bright side of situations. Start training your brain to look at good, positive things that are happening. Start looking at positive things and taking your mind away from negative things. For example, if you watch bad content, stop consuming bad content. You know, if you look at the news every day and you feel like, oh my God, there's so much bad shit happening in the world, fuck the news. Stop watching the news anyways. Half of that shit is fake. Okay? So start doing things that genuinely surround you with a much more positive environment, and start implementing positive reinforcement into your brain. You know, before I end off today's video, I do want to talk about something with you guys from, you know, the ages of like 10 or so all the way up until 17. I was a very depressed and very, very much so pessimistic and unhappy person, okay? At 17, I went through my spiritual awakening, and I became a lot more of a positive individual, became a lot more of a loving individual, and during my spiritual awakening, what I learned was that you can basically reprogram your brain. You know, from age 10 to 17, my brain was always constantly programmed to look at every little negative thing and to look at this world in a negative perception and to only see the bad and never see the good. And then what I started incorporating was positive reinforcement. You look at something in a positive way. You turn a negative into a positive. There's always going to be light at the end of any tunnel you look at, because at the end of the day, there's always light poking at the end of the tunnel. So darkness cannot always win. And darkness will not always win because there's always light in the dark. Does that make sense? So realize in every negative situation you experience, there's always something positive to gain from it or to learn from it. And every situation in general, there's always something positive there. So positive reinforcement is training your mind and your brain to see the positive and to see the goodness in things rather than to only focus on the bad. And the more you reinforce that, the more you reinforce a positive lifestyle. And that's exactly what I did. And I changed completely from those ages, from 17 to 22, which I am right now. My entire life has changed by basically changing my outlook and by reinforcing positivity in my life every single day. The thing about positivity is that it's not necessarily happiness. Positivity is just knowing that no matter what difficult fight you're currently going through, you're going to get to a better place. And just like this energy you're sitting in right now, Virgo, you will get to a better place. You will get to moments where your happiness and you will reach a state of contentment. But in order to get there, you got to do a little bit of work first. You got to eliminate those 10 of Wands. And after you eliminate those 10 of Wands, you got to make the choice each and every single day to actively live a much more positive lifestyle. And by doing so, you'll be happy and you'll be in that state of contentment, okay? All right, Virgo, I love you all so much, man. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. If it resonates, let me know down in the comments down below. If it's not your message, no worries, guys. Never try to make something stick if it does not resonate to you. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to comment down below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can, all right? I love you guys. Subscribe here if you're new. Enjoy the rest of your September, and I will see you guys later. Much love, Virgo, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.